Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Hub City Hot Rods TV channel. Appreciate you guys tuning in again. This video is going to be a quick swap on some drum brakes to disc brakes. This is my dad's 1956 Chevy Bel Air. He got the car with intentions of doing the Lonestar Round Up, as we do every year. Last year we had the 54 Bel Air LS swap that we took care of and got going to cruise around out there. This is just a hot rodded 56 Bel Air. I've been doing a couple things to it already that I didn't get to record, but I'll go over it real quick. Got the car, got it over here, did some lowering blocks on it because front springs were shot, rear was just too high. So we did some lowering blocks on it in the back, some brand new springs in the front. Let's see here. Brand new lowering springs in the front. And then we got lowering springs. Let's see if I can get it through here. Lowering blocks. Can you see? Right there. Took care of that. Another issue we had was gauges weren't functional. This car at one point got, I guess, rebuilt, or not rebuilt, just everything got replaced on it. And the people who used to have it before did some work to it. So we just got through it to finish it up. The car didn't have exhaust. We just got the exhaust done on it. Wheels got replaced. It had some torque thrusts on it. Changed to some nice rally style wheels. And biggest thing that we needed was gauges. We didn't know RPM, we didn't know speed, we didn't know fuel level, we didn't know if we had oil pressure, we didn't know if we were running hot or cold. And this is probably the best thing that we did to this car. So check this out. There you go. There's a demo mode. Let me put it in demo mode real quick. I'll show you real quick. Dakota digital gauges. So now we can actually read fuel level, coolant temp, oil pressure, our voltage, our speedo, our RPM. It's got 0 to 60, it's got quarter mile, it's got half mile, it's got eighth mile, it's got a clock. It's just modernized. Turn signals work. Got left turn signal. Got right turn signal. Wired everything up. But definitely a necessity. Car has real nice interior. Solid car. One of the nicer cars that we've had of all the Tri-5s that we've owned. But so today, and I already started, but I forgot to start recording. I just got excited. Today we're gonna do a disc brake conversion on the car. So that's the old drums. And the reason for doing this is it was pretty scary driving it around like this with drum brakes. So we're gonna take off the drums, and we ordered a kit that converts it to a disc brake with caliper and a master cylinder with a booster. Now, this car has manual brakes, factory, and drums all the way around. As you can tell, there's no booster on the car. And we're gonna change all that. So, some of the things that we got from Summit Racing, they'll sell you a complete kit. Everything that you need to convert to a disc brake. Comes with the brackets, the bolts, the bearings, the seals, the caps, the calipers, the pins, the brake lines, right? So we got inner bearings, outer bearings, got some seals, got some hardware. And I believe this isn't how it comes, but we got the stainless braided brake lines. This the right stuff, it says a backing plate. This is what goes to the spindle. This bolts up to the spindle, I guess the factory way, like this. the factory way the old drum backing plate would fit. And then you got your mounting brackets for your caliper. Damn, this is a solid piece right here. They usually send it in like a zinc style, like a regular metal, but this is some heavy duty steel right here. This is heavier than the things that we've had before. That's what I'm talking about. Obviously, brand new rotors. Got brand new rotors. These are slotted and drilled. Made for this kit. Very nice. Put this back together here. Got the pair here. And then, what else is in this box? Here we got more hardware for the car. And these are the calipers. Yep. Brand new calipers and brand new brake pads. That's gonna go to complete the kit. Last thing we have is the brake booster and the master cylinder, which actually just got here today. This one's actually pretty heavy. I'll open it right here. Nope, I'm gonna have to carry it. There it is. Brand new brake booster with master cylinder that we'll be putting on. And I'll be showing you just the basics, how to remove it, how to install it. These just have 4 bolts. You got 2 lines. You got 2 bolts. Well, actually this one has 4. Yeah, 4 bolts holding the master cylinder with a plate on the inside. You remove those from the inside and the outside. You gotta get somebody to hold the inside and out. And then there's just a rod that goes to the pedal with a clip that'll control your brake. So we're gonna convert this to a booster style. We're gonna have to add a vacuum hose, either from the intake or the back of the carburetor, to get vacuum from the engine to get the brake booster to work. So let's get to it. First things first, you wanna take off your wheels. Put that aside. These are just spray painted. They come gray. I just spray painted them. The cover scratches, the little cover scratched a little bit, but you can't see it. Just a touch up paint and fix it. Wheels off. And you're gonna take off your drum. Some of these on some cars are not removable, but these they are. I know off Tri 5s, they just come off like regular drums. Then you're gonna have to take off your hardware, your brake pads or brake shoes. Easiest way I do this is I just loosen these up and let the thing fall apart because we're not going to use it again. So I'm going to take off the solder pin and the hub first. Just get a pair of pliers here. And the reason we're changing these is, one, safety. This is old school braking technology, and we do plan to LS swap this car later on, but it's nice to have a brake booster. Just a cotter pin. We also want to make sure that we're going through everything, because we've had several cars where other people have built and it's scary what they do. So we like to go over everything, and it's always a must to put brakes on cars for us. So we'll take this off. Here's the hub. There's the inner bearing and the seal, outer bearing and the washer. We're not going to use that again. Put this aside. And here There's these two little springs with pins. You know, hold the pin with your finger, just push on it. Just grab this little spring, push in and turn, and you'll see that it comes through. That's all it is. We'll do it on both sides. Two pins are out. You notice this is just kind of loose. Just let it come apart. There you go. Just like that. I could take off these springs and this and that and whatnot, but man, take up so much time. Usually end up pinching myself. Usually end up hurting myself. And yeah, that sucks. So, little washer. There's 4 bolts holding this. 2 on the top are just free. There's just nut and bolt. The 2 on the bottom are 5/8, and that's what holds the steering bracket, the steering arm that holds to the tie rod end. So those do have to come off. I believe there's cotter pins back there. Brake line needs to come off here. And then this big nut that holds the backing plate to the spindle. So up here, there are the 2 little 1/2 inch. These are the smaller ones. There is cotter pins. So we'll just loosen that up, and this whole thing will come off. Let me do that real quick. Okay. So that backing plate is off. Brake hose. I just put a little rubber hose with a nut to stop brake fluid from coming out. This is that big nut that I was talking about that the shoe goes onto. Take that off. There's 4 bolts. In this case, it was a 1/2 inch for the front and back, and this one was a 5/8 for the front and back. And this is what I mean by the little spindle, the little steering arm. It's like a bracket that connects to the tie rod ends. It goes back here into these holes. Make sure that goes back on if you do take it off completely. Tools wise, just your standard 1/2 inch, 3/8, 7/16, 1/2 inch, 9/16, 5/8, 11/16. Just grab yourself a handful of wrenches, handful of sockets. These are old cars, so sometimes people do change the bolts, and you don't want to have to be running back and forth. So just grab yourself some stuff, a screwdriver. If you don't have an impact, your hand works as well, ratchet, a hammer, some pliers to take off the pins, but just the basic tools. Anybody can do this. Right now we're gonna start setting it up to put the backing plate, the bracket, so we can set the rotor on. Make sure your little surfaces are nice and clean, and we got to pack the bearings right now, grease them up. So let's take care of that. Okay, so read the instructions. I got a little confused here, but I guess every kid's different. The bracket that holds the caliper, the dust shield that goes around the rotor, and then your hardware. That's the first thing you got to start with. The bracket goes in between the spindle and in between the steering arm. So spindle is here, and then the bracket for the caliper, and then the steering arm squeezes it all together. So the bracket gets squashed in between the spindle and the steering arm, and then the dust shield goes over it, and all the bolts go through everything. Came with these little spacers. It's the bolt, dust shield, spindle, spacers, then steering arm, and then your nut. Same thing on both sides, and that holds and then your big nut that holds to the spindle. So steering arm's on, everything's tight. Next thing to do here, pack the bearings, put the seal on the rotor, put it in, slide this in, tighten the nut, bolt the caliper on, run the new brake line, and that'll be it. So let's get to that part. Okay. Wheel bearing. Washer. It is keyed. And then your castle nut. Locking nut, castle nut. Alright. Now these things don't go hammered down. They don't go torqued down or tightened as hard as you can go. They go snug. You have it too tight, you squeeze the bearings too much, the bearings will heat up and the actual hub will stop spinning. But if you have it too loose, you get play. So right here, a little bit of play. We're just gonna tighten it up a little bit till we have a little bit of tension, almost like the differentials. Just want it to sit up against the bearing on both sides. Let me tighten it and then we'll back up a little bit. See right there, I'm tightening. Feels pretty good. That feels great. If I go tighter, it'll crush the bearing. Yeah, I can't do that. Now, no. I'll go back the other way. Right there. There's no play. And the hub spins freely. So here we'll put our pin in. All right, once you tighten up your nut and your rotor, you can go ahead and put your cap on. And next we got to put the caliper on. Once the caliper's on, we'll go ahead and run the stainless line from the back to the brake line, and the bottom part of the brake system is done. Okay, so the calipers are on. Very simple, old school technology. This type of caliper has been around for a really long time, so it just uses 2 pin bolts and it just slides over the rotor. New brake hose. To the factory lines, but as I got further into, what is this? Oh, it's the air vent. As I got further into doing the brake system, put the brake booster on, took it off, took the old brake booster or master cylinder off, which is just 2 bolts, and then 2 more bolts on the firewall on top. Very simple to come out. Just a little, like I said here, it just hooks to the brake pedal. So the kit came with the adapter brackets that go from the firewall to the booster, and then the booster, just your master cylinder. There's instructions. Again, not very hard to understand. Master cylinder is bled on the bench, ready to go. Now the next thing to do is to put the proportioning valve. And sometimes it's very simple, just, bolt it on and your car will adapt to what you need. But in this case, in our case, we need to do some work on the brake lines so this can work. So the kit came with these two lines. They just go directly to the master cylinder, and then the back of this goes here. And the nut that holds the master cylinder together holds the lines together. It'll sit like this. Needs to go higher, right? But it'll sit there. Now the problem that I'm running with is the back line, which is the rear brake. That one should be fine. That one I got plenty of reach. It's the correct thread. The front, I don't. So the old master cylinder has one brake line in the front or one brake line in the back. And you follow this line and it splits down here on the frame. So one brake line from that side comes this way to a T. The little front one comes to a T. And then the last spot on the T comes up to this piece right here. So it splits down at the bottom. I need to eliminate the split in order to use this. This technically would be my split. So I need to eliminate the split, the little T that's down there, and run one of my brake lines, which is the driver, to the bottom of here. And I need to run the other brake line from the passenger side to the top here. And then my rear would go here. So imagine this piece right here, just half of this. It's sitting on the frame with a line sticking out. All right, so this is the finished product after everything's buttoned up. Caliper just slides on, goes through the back with the supplied hardware, stainless braided line, connects to the factory brake line to the bottom of the caliper. All right. Now, I jumped ahead because it's really hard to record and do this, but very simple. Comes with these two brackets that are here. I'm going to cover up that hole. It has a grommet, but the grommet's kind of short. So I'm going to cover up that hole through the inside. Comes with the brackets. The brackets mount in the same place where the factory master cylinder used to mount. And then on the back of the booster, it mounts with some nuts. It holds the booster. And then the master cylinder, after you bench bleed it, mounts to the booster with this bracket. The bracket holds the proportioning valve. And then you have the two lines, this one and this one, that connect the master cylinder to the proportioning valve. The rear of the proportioning valve is the rear brakes. And then there's two on the front. One's the left side, one's the right side. I did some bending of my own. Very hard to do it with all the stuff on, headers and steering box, but I got it. I pretty much went brand new line from this side here, brand new line from here back, and then this little line right here that you can see here in the distance is actually the passenger side, and it used to go to that little T that I blocked off on one side, and then I went towards the back. Both sides come up. One went to the bottom, one went to the top, and just finished bleeding the car. And that's it. Not too hard. A couple of things we had to get to convert. So like the factory lines, or the lines that were on the car, because at one point the car got restored, I believe, were different threads. So I just made new flare fittings. I double flared the fittings, put the correct fittings that go to the proportioning valve, and not too hard. I guess I've done them several times that I'm used to having to change fittings around, which is fine. Inside the car, gotta clean up this. Inside the car, rod comes through with your little hook that has a pin and a cotter pin holding it in place, and that's it. Very simple. So I'm gonna cover that up. As you can see, before they had a bunch of dynamite, I guess. a bunch of Dynamat. So I'm gonna hook that up, cover that hole up, and we should be good to go. I think the only thing I need to do left is run this hose with a T. Let me show you real quick. So I'm just gonna grab a T, which is the 3/8, probably this one. The other one's too big. This 3/8 T right here. And what I'm gonna do is from the valve cover PCV valve to this side of the T, this T with a hose to the back of the carburetor, and this T, piece of the T, from this to the booster. Some clamps, and we got vacuum to the booster. So that's all I need to do and go for a test drive. Let's see how this goes. Charging, about half a tank, great oil pressure. And keeping cool about 180. Idling about, what's the idling at? 600, 700 RPM. All back together. Well, definitely way better than the manual brakes, than the drums. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. She stops. Quick little cruise around the block. Probably just give it a once over, make sure everything's good, make sure the brake pads are actually grabbing, but it feels great. Probably just check fluid one more time and then wash it up. Well, the drive went smooth. Really like that upgrade. I wish I would have done a video before on how I couldn't stop and had a comparison, but I'll just tell you the story. We're on our way to get the exhaust done on the car because it just had some purple horny mufflers on it. I think they're called hornies or something like that, pinkies or something like that. But was driving, and I like to keep my distance when I'm driving these cars, these old cars. I like to keep my distance. And from far away, I started pushing the brakes when it had the drums on it. And man, the distance that I was to that car, I could not stop. I was to the floor and the car was just rolling. And I said, nope, let's fix the exhaust, cruise it slowly back to the house, and let's get these brakes ordered. So got the brakes ordered, and now that they're on, huge difference. Huge difference. I recommend anybody with an old Tri-5 to definitely do a disc brake conversion. It doesn't matter if it's aftermarket, Bear Brakes, Brembo. Doesn't matter. Just do a disc brake conversion. You can do the Summit Racing one. You can do any type of aftermarket disc conversion. Definitely worth it, and definitely save you from getting into an accident. But car's all done. I think right now we're just gonna tidy up little things. Everything runs great. Everything runs smooth. So we're gonna get ready to go to that Lonestar Roundup in Austin on the 17th. What is it, April 17th? We have the Lonestar Roundup in Austin, Texas. So we're gonna get ready for that. Wash the car up and just enjoy it. But other than that, thanks for watching. Really do appreciate you guys who keep coming back and watching our videos. Same as always, make sure you subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.